July recap. You've been waiting for it. We've been waiting for it. Got lots of comments on all the crazy songs we've hit.
Just started doing this last month. Got highly requested. You guys seem to like it, so we're just going to keep doing it. I also think it's a really good time to just reflect over the songs that we've hit.
Yeah, this feels like we're growing as people.
I would agree. So first song we hit last month was Signed, Sealed, Delivered by Stevie Wonder.
Good Lord, dude.
I mean, this hasn't really changed because it was such a great song to begin with. There was really nowhere to go for it.
Amazing.
Like, he's just consistent.
Yeah, I went home, and that next day, I blasted it in the house, and me and Kaylin were dancing to it. And she never heard it before, and it was so wholesome and amazing.
That's so cute. Were your cats there?
Yes, they were, dude. They were dancing, too. Not really, but, like, fantasizing back, I wish, they could have been.
We're going to put in some comments like we did for the last video. So your comment game has to be lit because we're going to go look at them. Kent Zapik says, Stevie is easily among the top 10 artists in the history of pop music, which I have to agree with. I think I would consider him in the top 10 of all music.
I think so. In terms of, like, the forefront of popularity, like, hitting all these different genres and just having such great songwriting, vocal charisma, and, like, just instrumental prowess. Like, dude is legit a GOAT.
Instrumental prowess, because he's playing almost all the instruments on a lot of his songs, if not all of them. So drums, keyboard, like bass, guitar, all that stuff, and singing and writing. He's just a powerhouse.
And the dude flows like water. It's just like so fluid in every sense of the way.
Yeah.
Like so authentic. Like he's just amazing. And the next song we hit was Crimson and Clover from Tommy and the
Shondells.
That was the biggest comment on the entire video.
You can tell I didn't read that video. I read most of them, but I didn't read that one.
Yeah, this comment is from K-Bob. I've always heard it as Tommy James in the Sean, insert all caps, Dells. Shondells. Emphasis on the second syllable. Am I alone on this? That was one of the, not just that comment, but there were so many comments that got uploaded a bunch saying, come on, guys, come on.
Dude, I feel like this is gaslighting us. Shondells is a better name.
A little bit, dude.
Because we both thought it.
The Shondells sounds a little pretentious, to be honest, dude.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sounds like you care like, honestly, like 32% more than you should.
It's like they're being pretentious and in suits, foreshadowing, you know?
A little bit, dude. But have you listened to the song at all since? Because you weren't huge on it, like in terms of when you listened.
I did my due diligence. I listened to it twice.
How was it?
It was
what settings?
Once in a car, and then once here when I was editing videos.
Okay. How were both experiences?
I honestly like the one when I was here better.
Okay.
The car was also good.
Yeah.
But I was also stressed, so I feel like that could have led into it.
Okay.
It's still really good. I think it definitely went up for me a little bit, but it still isn't my favorite.
Yeah, some people were saying that there's like a longer, like 5-minute version where there's a bunch of guitar solos, a lot of fuzz.
I might see that. If there's fuzz, and I'm all there for it.
And I listened to it all the way through with that one, and I think it would elevate it for you, but I don't know if it would by that much. It wasn't as like avant-garde as the Birds when we hit, what was it, 8 Miles High, and you also weren't huge on that one. Like the guitar work, like you may or may not like the effects. Like I'm not sure. If it feels a little loose. But I think it would definitely add something for you. I just don't know if it would bring it up like a letter grade or anything, but I think you would definitely like it. I definitely think people were saying also that it was for sure not made for headphones whatsoever.
That's probably why I liked it better in both contexts, yeah.
Yeah, but either way, cool song. And the next song we hit in the month was the Moody Blues, Ride My Seesaw.
Great song.
Had freaking crunchy guitar. Like, did not expect that from them. It was just awesome all around the board.
And also a cool message from when we like read through it a little bit.
I almost forgot completely about how introspective that freaking song was. Didn't we like pause it and like do a whole little dive?
Yeah.
I think we did. Yeah. And so it has some cool comments here. This one from Lisa Morrison. The song, written by bassist John Lodge, is about escaping the rat race. He was disillusioned after finishing school and getting a job, so he joined a rock and roll band. Of course, S tier for me, especially because of Jason Hayward's vocals and guitar riffs. Dude, cannot agree more. Like, it's so cool to like kind of get that backstory of like, because it's kind of like what we were catching on in terms of like, man, like let's dib, like let's go in the woods, man, run around, go crazy.
Also cool to like give an analogy between the rat race of like society and working life and a seesaw, like a child's thing, and also this adult life where it's like, why are we doing this?
It's almost like just escaping the illusion a little bit.
Next we had Come On Feel the Noise by Slade. Now this is going to be an IRL comment that I saw from my cousin Nick, who plays in a band here in Florida, Tampa area. Really, really cool. The band is Sick Hot. They're kind of like old classic rock vibes for sure. And he was the one who, right before we hit Slade, we went and saw some like performance of theirs, And they said when they got off stage, Nick was like, whoa, you got to hit this band Slade at some point because they're awesome. The singer's so freaking good. And he said, I think that he almost replaced Brian Johnson as the singer, or was in the running for it.
Yeah.
So just that's super cool. It was a great song.
I think legit was their first choice. He said no.
Yeah,
is what I heard somebody say.
So
which is insane. And have to agree, some of the best rock vocals ever. Like totally underrated.
Yeah, because I've heard the Quiet Riot version, and it's a really good song. And in comparison, it's one of those that just like does its own thing. It's doing so much right for being the first iteration.
It just has the raw power to back itself up.
Yeah,
like in just being that anthem.
Next was Down on the Corner, which it's literally like any CCR song in that it's kind of the best CCR song as long as you've only listened to one in the past 5 minutes. Like if you've listened to more than two, then you have a conundrum.
They just have way too many good songs. I just don't know how you do it.
I borderline kind of want somebody or on a live stream or something to recommend us their worst song. That'd be a fun.
I'd love to see that.
Dude, the worst song live stream, we didn't do that.
That sounds really fun. I have an
idea, man.
But either way, like CCR consistently shows up with just great songwriting, instrumentation, production, like all of it, like the heartfelt authenticity you just feel in every aspect of their songs. So that stayed consistent with that aspect.
Speaking of consistently, I Get Around by the Beach Boys. So I also have a comment from this one. It was by Kurt Gilbert. I was drafted in the U.S. Army in 1971 at 18 years old. Other side of the world, fighting a war, missing my home and family. This song made me feel like I was home, if only for a couple of minutes. To this day, I still have the feeling whenever I hear it, bringing me joy and comfort.
Dude, that is amazing.
It's weird sometimes reading comments that people leave like that because it just puts into perspective how powerful music is.
Yeah, and it's like we weren't there, and to hear like how people have these legit heartfelt just connections of how this song was that beacon for them, like grounding them and giving them some just feeling that was very welcomed at that time. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and also I can imagine being away from home, and because I have been, not in war, but just in general, and I think everybody feels that longing of like, oh, God, I wish I had something like, and for some people it's like the smell of their grandma's pie. For some people it's like, oh, I miss the color of my room. Like there's probably some small little thing where you're like, I kind of just miss that. Like that fucking deli on the corner that I always got a sandwich from. Like that's the place. So it's just really cool. Music's super dope, and it's really fun that we get to listen to it on the channel and explore things that made you feel like that in other times will make us feel a different way. Mm-hmm. And we'll have just as powerful or a similar emotion, but in a totally different context, and that song elicited both of them. It's just really, really magical. Now, this was the most spur-of-the-moment video we've hit on the channel probably ever, and it was my cover of Just the Two of Us. And Sean claimed that I have ADD because Sean was my cousin. He was on the Brandy video. Because I told him the day afterwards, I was like, well, I had to play that for a wedding one time, and it was like stuck in my head. So I thought I might as well learn the guitar part. And I learned the guitar part, played the guitar part, and I was like, well, now that I learned it, I should probably just like learn how to sing it and play it and put a cool guitar line on top of it. And then once I did all that, I was like, we've been talking about doing covers on the channel more frequently, like little short things. We need to do The Who, but in general, just short covers.
Yep.
Because Andy plays guitar, I play guitar, we both kind of sing, and play a few other instruments. Either way, we've been asked a bunch to showcase that in some respect. And it's funny how many people don't know we play things.
Yeah, I saw so many comments where like, holy shit, I didn't know you sang, Alex.
Yeah, I know, and we did the whole, like, you did the solo, and I did the vocals for the one Queen song.
Bohemian Rhapsody. That's also like 10K subs.
That's true.
So if someone's joined in, like, in the foreseeable recency of now, and they
120 people, 120,000 people.
Yeah, they didn't go back and see that. It's like, yeah, you can never know.
Yeah, the comment that I saw specifically calling out was by Jay Corby, who said, Alex, I hear you refer to playing guitar from time to time, but I had no clue you could play and sing like that. Quite impressive to say the least. Would love to hear from you more. Definitely not that impressive. Definitely impressive enough for college students. College student.
Facts. And then we hit some more Sly and the Family Stone, Hot Fun in the Summertime.
Great fun summertime song.
It was such a great time.
I actually will say this one I think changed for me more because I think as I've hit it, it feels less of a summer song and just more of an anytime song. Because I listened to it twice in the shower, which also a great shower song, which borderline might be my favorite. Not my favorite Sly and the Family Stone song, but maybe the most unique.
I mean, we've only heard like 2 or 3 of their songs.
I know, but of those 2 or 3, it just feels very different.
Let me be myself.
Really
Great freaking song. That's a timeless chorus right there.
I hard agree.
Jeez.
But my issue is that's my favorite part of the song by like a wide margin.
Let us know what to hit next from Sly and the Family Stone, because I am down.
We definitely need to hit more.
Speaking of summer, that Friday we hit In the Summertime from Mungo Jerry.
Yeah.
Which was freaking awesome and
weird song.
Definitely.
That one has not grown on me. I've listened to it once since then, and it's still cool, but it feels kind of gimmicky a little bit.
I've listened to it one time since also, and it was legit for the Friday premiere. And I get where the gimmick aspect could come from. I didn't see it like that. I just see it as a thing where I'm probably never gonna put it on purpose. But if I'm in the right place, right time, and it comes on, I'm not gonna fight that. I'm gonna lean into it hard.
I can see that.
If in all, you know what I mean.
I definitely would never turn it off if somebody put it on, but it would never be my first choice.
And I could see if you were in that time and it's been overplayed to death for you, I could see almost a deep hatred somehow brewing.
Yeah, okay.
That's one of those songs where I feel like a lot of people probably had that experience where if they just heard it they heard it 30 too many, maybe 100 too many times.
Yeah.
And they're like, let it lie. Please God, let it lie.
Yeah.
No, I haven't had that experience. So if I'm, in the sun, we're chilling, and it just comes on, I'm like, yo, these guys know how to party. Is gonna be my thought.
Yeah.
Now, will I feel that way if I hear it, 100 too many times? Probably not. But it's definitely fun for what it is, and it fills a space and it suits a vibe.
The next one we hit was Paul Simon's Kodachrome, which was this the first Paul Simon song we hit?
No, because you showed me 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
50 Ways to Leave Your Lover.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's the first new one I've heard on the channel. Yeah. And it just gave me a more respect for Simon, of the Simon and Garfunkel that we've previously heard on the channel. He's so articulate and precise with the way he places and arranges instruments. And it just makes it feel beautiful. Beautiful. Straight up beautiful.
Straight up masterclass songwriter. Such a fun song. I love the gallop feel of it, and I feel the same as I did. I think I listened to it twice, 2 or 3 times since recording it, and I enjoyed every single time.
I think when we hit 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, and I showed that to you, I told you it's in the short list of songs that I consider possibly the best songs ever written, in the whole history of ever. And although this song, I don't feel like that personally, if anyone told me that they felt like that, I would never argue it. I had no legs to stand on. There's just be no way. It's a really great song. It touches on a moment. And it's weird being colorblind, which is not something that really affects me. I make jokes about it all the time. But it's interesting to hear songs that are so in-depth about the vividness or color of life in a way like that. It was just very, very unique. Capturing the color of life, the greens, the blues, the whatever. And just great lyrics, as always, Paul Simon. Now, we touched on a comment earlier kind of about a similar thing. The next song we hit was Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder. Second Stevie Wonder of the month. Give us a prize because we deserve it. Curtis RC said, I remember this being released and I'm still not tired of hearing it. Which sometimes, Stairway to Heaven, great song. I don't want to hear Stairway to Heaven. I love Zeppelin. Love them to death. The last time I put on Stairway to Heaven was probably 6 years ago. And I will probably not put it on for another 4 years. It's got a 10-year window.
Yeah, man. And from the comments, you totally called it, how it was totally an homage to Duke Ellington and all of his inspirations in general, and how you can literally what is it? Feel it all over him, pretty much, and just his influence in through all the songs he writes. And it's so freaking modest, heartfelt, authentic, and just a freaking banger of a song.
That was
go
a
along
perfect
with it.
3 words described. That's crazy.
Dude, I got you.
I felt good because I was right 2 times in the month with being right on the Kodachrome meeting and then also right on the Sir Duke meeting. Yeah. But you just got 3 in one sentence. How did you do that?
Takes time, takes practice, takes letting go, but not letting go too much, but also not overthinking it. Real time.
You made me overthink what you were just saying. I don't know.
No, dude.
Sir Duke was great. Great. So glad we hit it.
Stevie's insane. Let us know what to hit next for him for sure.
Also, isn't that when we did the NordVPN ad?
Yes.
So for one, thanks Nord for helping us buy this camera that we're using.
For real.
And also, we worked so hard on that. It took so long. And Andy, you did so good. We did
Thank you.
We wrote the script that we're trying to make it funny. Anytime we have people who do ads on here, we try really, really hard to make it not only enjoyable for us to do, but enjoyable for you guys to watch. So
It has to be like a skit or like an experience at the same time.
I wish that they could help crowdsource ideas where they're like, we want to see you guys in wigs, and I'm like,
it's like
I'm
next
down.
time we're a tutu. It's like, don't tempt me. And oh my gosh, dude, this video that we had, Sean came over, we watched Star Wars on Patreon. It was a whole freaking thing. One of the coolest things we got out of that night was a Brandy reaction with him.
It was the first thing we did.
Yeah.
Because he was nervous. So we were like, well, let's just do like something quick. You can show us the song. We don't have to post it if you don't want us to.
Yeah, just a little warm up. And oh my gosh, what a great freaking song. Like I was telling Alex, we could have handpicked 30 friends and had all of them pick like a song to show us. And like, let's say Sean's in that 30. His song Brandy would have been in the top 3 probably. It was so perfect, especially for that night. Like, all of it was amazing. And it has some cool comments here from things you guys said. So the biggest comment on there was from a Gidget Hale. The music started, and I hear my old man start singing. I glanced into the garage, and all I could see was his blue jean ass sticking out from the hood of his old 69 Barracuda, and he was singing to the top of his lung. And when I read that comment, and this was like the day it posted, I totally could envision that being a thing. And just
I hope you and your dad got closer because of that.
I saw that, and my heart fluttered of warmth.
Fluttered.
I was so happy. Like,
Fluttered.
it legit is just so wholesome, dude.
It is really wholesome.
So wholesome. So that was one comment that I thought was freaking amazing. And this guy, Pops McGee, echoed the voices of almost over half the comments, at least on that video, which was
Sean's hot.
That one, but
because there were a few who were like, and Sean got so gassed up. He was like, "Look, Emma, I'm hot." My cousin, he's actually not my cousin. He's my cousin-in-law. My cousin, his name is Emma, and he was bragging. He was like, "You got a hot husband." She was like, "Says who?"
He has nice references.
Yeah, nice references.
But not echoing that comment though, that was very much trending in there also. This is the opinion of, I never saw this song as a metaphor. And after 20 years in the Coast Guard, I can unequivocally state that not only did sailors make use of lighthouses in the 1970s, but we still do today. They still use lighthouses.
Funny story, true story. I went to Buffalo with my mom and little brother recently, like literally in the past week, and we saw a lighthouse there that was working and functioning, and I was like...
That was wild. But the more important than that, let's not get sidetracked, is that song was not a metaphor. It actually is about him being in love with the sea and having to leave Brandy.
I agree.
The sea is not a hotter
For
chick.
one, I didn't say that. That was him. It just made sense to me.
true.
Because I've also seen Pretty Women, and I've been like, you look like an ocean.
I think it was also fun just to banter off of that concept a little bit.
He sucked me in. I felt like it was a pyramid scheme. Like, I was like, I'm all in. Take my savings. This is a cult now.
You're 400% return. But no, legit. I can definitely see how... And from a lot of other comments, apparently this was legit, like totally like a Navy, like a sailor song, like that. There was like a bajillion relationships where this was like, bro, this is their song, dude. Like he's leaving, like, and they're just jamming this, thinking about each other. It's a whole thing. Is he gonna see her again? Probably, maybe.
That was such a good song, and it was one of my favorite recording sessions in recent history. Editing it, I was laughing. That had some of my favorite jokes and like edits, and rewatching it back that I've had in probably any video recently. Because again, me and Annie and him just hang out regularly.
Yep.
And every time it feels like that. It's just as many laughs. Like, I love to watch you and Sean banter because you're equal parts. You're the same amount of weird, like magnitude, just different directions.
I can totally see that.
Yeah. Now, last one of the month. Last one is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears and Fears. Now, one of the number one comments on there was by Larry Boys Jolie, I think. I'm going to say it like that. He goes, I totally disagree that an 80s song can't be rated an S. It's an 80s iconic song that will surpass anything today. Yeah, definitely agree with you. I kind of said it as a joke, half serious, half truth, but mostly as a joke, 80% a joke. I just hadn't found a song to me that I felt made me feel as strongly for it that I would give another S in the 70s, 60s, or later.
Also, one thing I think you might not be considering then is the style of 80s you've been hitting, because I'm sure there are Guns N' Roses and Metallica songs you probably give S to.
100%. 100%.
So you meant more so like in that realm.
80s poppy sort of stuff.
I say like when I say 80s, you know what I mean when I say 80s kind of energy.
Yeah, if anybody goes, oh, I love 80s music, and you show up in a Metallica t-shirt, I feel like they're going to be like, I meant the things where there's like the weird triangles that are like isosceles in weird colors. And you're like, different thing.
For sure. Interesting how this happens like so quickly after you make that super bold, lightly, not too much digging too deep into it statement, is that you've given out 2 S's for 80 songs since then.
They don't know about one of those S's. But it's okay. It'll be a secret.
If you're on Patreon, you know about one of them.
I know.
And
hence my previous statement.
And next week, you'll know about the other one.
The other one. They're like, I have no idea.
And they earned it. They earned it for sure.
They did forget it.
They earned it. And the song, dude, I have listened to it, no lie, at least 20 times since listening to it. And I will say, at least for myself, for sure goes to S for me. It is freaking so amazing. I listened to it, and I talked about the thing, how like the theory of listening to it in all the different settings, it still works. Dude, I listened to it driving home from a recording session, I think last week at night, and it filled such a vibe. I listened to it in the morning on the way to like band practice or something. It was a bright day, like right in the morning. I was still waking up, and it was freaking awesome. It's uplifting and also moody, like when you want it to be. It's just timeless song for me.
What I will say, I do actually have one Tears for Fears story, and it happened today. I had Josh over, who's my drummer, and he was practicing. He was like, "Can I play your kit for a little bit? I just want to practice." So he's over here practicing, and I walk in, and he's playing Tears for Fears because he saw it on the channel, and he's playing it, and he gets done, and he goes, and he's a great drummer, and he goes, "Damn, dude, those polyrhythms are rough." And I remember trying to, and somebody commented, sorry, I don't know your comment because it was like deep down there, but somebody commented because I was like tapping along with the song and trying to figure it out. And I guess it's like in 6/8, but they have a polyrhythm. It's like two, so like 1 2 2 1 2 1 2 in the 6/8, and so it's like nesting these two things. That's
probably why I feel so driving the whole time.
Yes, yeah, and so he was telling me how hard it was, and he's such a great drummer. I was like, if you say it's hard, then I definitely have right to say it's hard.
Very fair. I'm super down to hit more of them because just from that one song alone, I know they have to have at least they have at least 9 more songs that are bangers.
I would 100% agree.
Bangers.
So yeah, either way, a lot of great songs this month, a lot of cool videos. Check out the ones you missed. Leave some comments with some things that maybe you think we should have caught from this. And with that being said, we'll catch you in the next recap.
Peace.
All right, guys, you know the drill. If you want to stay on the A&A train, there's a button right there that will let you click to a suggested video from YouTube. And if you want to go to Patreon, support your boys, support small, young, independent business. I don't know if that's what we are, but I'll count it as that. Then click right here. There's a link to Patreon, less than a cup of coffee. See you there.